So I'm going to pick up on what I said in the short I recorded a few minutes ago, although you may be watching this later on. I'm not sure when it's scheduled to go out. I'm still here with Loki. He's become a bit restless. He's listening to the birds that are starting to make their alarm calls. You can hear lots of alarm calls. Blackbirds are going tick, 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 tick in the trees nearby. We were talking about Beethoven. So let me tell you something about the late quartets. They are wonderful pieces. The first one was written in 1824, and I think it was written immediately after the Ninth Symphony. So it was the next thing he did. The Ninth Symphony always feels like a piece that really is a signing off. It's sort of saying, right, I've done symphonies now. I know he sketched a 10th. Never got that far with it, and I wouldn't necessarily recommend anyone listens to the completed version. Although I think the sketches are probably fascinating. But the Ninth Symphony, at any rate, has a kind of summing up quality. And then after it, he wrote a wonderful and absolutely fresh and invigorating new piece, which was his E-flat String Quartet, Opus 127. Check it out if you've never heard it. Absolutely amazing piece. And then that was followed by the great A minor, Opus 132 in 5 movements, which was followed by the great, I say great for each one, the B-flat major quartet, Opus 130, which has 6 movements. And that's followed by Opus 131, in C-sharp minor, which Beethoven himself considered his greatest work, and Schubert, when he heard it days before his death, said, what more is there to say after this? Opus 131 in C-sharp minor, and that has 7 movements. So do you see, you're moving from 4 movements with the first of them, conventional 4 movements, to 5 to 6 to 7. And the 7 movements, C-sharp minor, Opus 131, all 7 movements flow into each other. So in a sense, the 7 movements are in one continuous landscape. And that is an astonishing thing to do in 1826. Just a wonder. I should say, though, that Opus 130, Opus 130, the previous quartet, ended with the Grosse Fuge. And that is perhaps the most ambitious thing in the late quartets, and something that I hope we'll be able to talk about in the future. The final string quartet goes back to 4 movements, almost as if, and it's very classical too, almost like a almost as if he's come out from some incredible journey and he's returning to almost like a Haydn-esque structure, although it doesn't sound like Haydn, it sounds like late Beethoven. And that's his final work, Opus 135, the F major string quartet. And the very final piece he wrote was the substitute finale for the Grosse Fuge, which he wrote right at the end of 1826.